All right. There's a message or something that wants to come out, and I don't know what that is, so I'm just going live so we can just figure it out. But the phew part is like, how's that eclipse hanging on? Just let me like recalibrate for a minute, because like it's kind of how it feels after the eclipse, right? Let me know how you're feeling after that. I'm just gonna share this video as always. So let me just make sure I'm in the right thing. I think so. And I'll share this, but let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what's up. Let me know what you'd like me to talk about, because I know that there's something trying to come through, some sort of message. I just don't know what that is, but I know that I need to go live and start talking. So I'll just share this and I'll concentrate. Share to a group while I wait for your comments to come up, and let me know what's going on. Let me know where you're from around the world. Let me know what you want me to talk about. And just posting this in the places. Hello. Hi. I've been doing lots of things today. Clients and life purpose, mentorship, business trainings. I freaking love doing them. So exciting. So exciting what streams through, even though it's like, I feel so silly sharing all of this with you guys. It's being pretty vulnerable and real and raw as always. That's in the private group. That's in the Transcendence Reality Society group. Okay, so just bring it up so I can see your comments here now. Perfect. Hello, Sabrina, Nicola, Benjamin, Paul, Anna, hello. Okay, awesome. All right, so I'm going to start off by sharing the eclipse stuff was just freaking huge. So the eclipse was technically on Monday, and well, Monday Australian time, so maybe Sunday night if you're in other parts of the world. Hey Mel. And I feel like, I want to say it's not heavy, maybe heavy is the word. Maybe heavy is a word for the eclipse feelings. It feels like it's full and there's a lot of information going on and being taken in. There's a lot of like external, it's like so Sunday night, Monday just gone was the blood moon eclipse. Leading up to it was like, coming out of it, and especially that sort of 3-day window. I feel that with the eclipses specifically, there's like a 3-day window either side. There's a 5-day window either side, and then there's a week window. And what I mean by these windows is like, so like, you know, the eclipse peak was, you know, mid-afternoon Australian time, right? So 3 days from that, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, mid-afternoon, it's the same sort of feeling. It's almost like, oh, it's happening again in a way, right? We feel the same as when it's at the peak, is what I mean when I'm talking about like these windows. And so I feel like we sort of felt that yesterday as well. Be mindful of it sort of Sunday, again, depending on where you are in the world. And then, so Sam says, hi from the UK, hello. Is the eclipse going to affect us hugely with the retrograde we had being so challenging? Yeah. And so the peak was on Monday, you know, and so technically we're in the middle of it, but we're now sort of coming on the outside of it. Eclipses are felt up to 6 months though, you know, and it's almost like, then there's another one. And, you know, the reality is that there is always some sort of planet in retrograde. There is always some sort of, you know, eclipse. There's always some sort of moon. There's always something going on, right? And I teach this in Trust Intuition especially. It's important that, you know, knowing that these things are always going on. And whilst we can be like, okay, cool, yes, that's the moon, or that's this and that's that, are we blaming that? Oh, it's like, oh, it's because of the eclipse. Oh, it's because of that. Or you know, and if you haven't watched my video I did about 2 weeks ago now, I did what happens to you over the eclipses. If you haven't actually watched that, it's an hour and a half. It's a long live stream. It's actually a training. I technically should have charged for it. So if you haven't watched that, please comment Eclipse below, and I'll get myself and my team to comment to send you the link for that. So just comment Eclipse if you haven't watched it. It is a training. It explains the 3 sort of tiers that we can be in when we're like 3 levels sort of tiers. That or might be crying tears as well, right? But and it can help explain sort of where you're at over the eclipse energy, and is really, really helpful to understand sort of where you're at, how to support yourself in it, what's going on. It can feel like as well when we're in the windows of it. So, you know, like with the 3-day window, the 5-day window, you know, it feels like we're losing our mind. You know, it can be just be like, I'm losing my mind right now. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, I just feel like I'm gonna lose it. Like, you know, like that's the sort of feeling. It's a really weird sort of feeling. Alongside world stuff, alongside everyone sort of on edge for the next thing in the world, like the reality is that there's always going to be something going on. The other reality is that we're going to feel it more if we've got our own unresolved stuff going on that we haven't dealt with. That's the reality of it. Whether it's the moon, the eclipse, the neighbor, the something else, the whatever, the person down the street, whatever, like it doesn't matter what it is. If you've got stuff going on, you're going to feel it more. If you are feeling at peace and things are dealt with and resolved within yourself and your life, that's just not going to affect you. And this is like the basis of trust intuition, right? That I teach. And it's like, you know, how do we be so sensitive? How do we be an empath? How do we do all the things that we do and not be affected by reality? How do we not let the moon affect us, or that person affect us, or that thing going on affect us, or whatever? And you know, the reality is that some days we're going to feel stronger and we're going to be able to handle all the stuff, and other days we're gonna feel weaker and we're not gonna be able to handle all the stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And that's just reality in life, and being able to know how to support yourself when these energies are about. Now, the other thing to do when you're, you know, not feeling good, or you're like, what's happening, is to really check in, like, what's the word? Like, in my Reality Awareness support group on Facebook. So if you're not in there, it's a private group where we're like all in there, we all get it. So if something's going on, you can be like, is there something going on? Like, is there a planet or something? Which you might see anywhere, you know, see elsewhere anyway. But, you know, just so you know that you're not alone and you're not losing your mind. We're all losing our mind in a way. You know, some pretty heavy, hard-hitting news can come up during eclipse time as well, like big life changes. You know, feelings that you've buried that you haven't dealt with, you know, all those sorts of things. But I do talk about that deeply in the Eclipse training, so you can check that out as well. But the point that I was sharing that for is, so the Reality Awareness support group is where you can post in there, is anyone else going through this? What's going on? You know, and just other people going, yeah, no, this is normal to feel like this. So you know that what you're feeling and going through is quote unquote normal, in a sense that there is other stuff outside of you happening, and it's a collective wave that you're feeling. You're not going crazy, you're not losing your mind, but it does bring up stuff and peel the veil back, if you may, to what you need to face in your life, right? That's the reality of it. Mel says, I'm tripping out. Your table is in a different position than earlier, or it's the opposite side. Oh yeah, so Mel, if you were in, you're in Transcendence Reality Society, I flipped the camera around because we were doing a training and I was like drawing on the thing. So I do flip the camera around because otherwise it's backwards. The camera's backwards, like you can see it's backwards. If I flip it around, then you can read the words correctly. So that's what I did. So it flips it. So it's like mirror, I guess. So Delaney says, gotta be present, breath, gratitude for me. Yes, exactly, right? Breathing, presence, staying grounded, all the things that keep you connected to self. So important during these times. Nicola says, drama all over the place at home here right now. So much happening. I don't know where to start. Okay, and when there is, and there's always lots of things going on, right? Sometimes they're amplified because not only us sensitive people feel it, but everybody feels it. And it's just that sometimes we're more conscious of it, and other people just are in their emotions of it, so to speak, and not conscious of their emotions in it, so to speak. And so that's where we can, you know, when you say, I don't know where to start, well, you start to come back to your breath. You come back to what's the next, like, what's the thing that I can do right now? Sometimes that's just breathe and just do the things you need to do. Sometimes that's all you can manage and that's all you need to do in the moment. Knowing the eclipse energy is going on, knowing it's retrograde, knowing whatever planets are happening, there's something going on greater than you, and all I can do right now is just the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and just be present with my breath while I'm on the next thing, and deal with this family matter and deal with this person and all the drama happening, and just one thing at a time. And your shower is like your best friend, where you just get a moment to just do yourself for a second in all the craziness. Okay? Sometimes we just need to do whatever we need to do to just be here with it. Yeah? Oksana says I was completely wiped out on the day of the eclipse. Yep. Intense migraine, hungry, and neck ache. Yeah, definitely those waves. And so anything that you might have felt that day could be felt like on those windows that I talked about as well. So usually we feel sort of the 3-day window of the full moon regardless, like either side, 3 days before, 3 days afterwards from the peak. But I feel the eclipse, we're going to feel it a bit more, you know? So yeah, so 3, 5 days, 7 days. And of course, you know, it does extend into the months as well. And at the end of the day, there's always something going on, right? It's just learning to ride the waves. It's learning how to be present with yourself. It's learning and understanding, you know, like understanding and learning yourself and knowing yourself and understanding the energies. And this is why, you know, going to all this very deeply and trust intuition, because, you know, we're sensitive, we're empaths, we feel everything. So when everything is amplified and all this drama or whatever's going on around your life, or it's just busy and full and there's just a lot, it's like, how can I take care of myself in this moment? What do I need to do? And, you know, sometimes, like I said, just being busy and doing all the things that are in your face to do is all we can handle. And we know that we're going to come to an end of, you know, the like busyness or whatever. And, you know, planning for that break, planning for that self-care time. And in the moment, it's just a shower, for an example. Yeah. So yeah, those energies are quite, quote unquote, normal, if you may. All right, so I didn't really know what the message is, but I really just wanted to touch base around the eclipse and just sort of check in, because it's been a very big week for myself as well. Usually I hold the full moon ceremony like right on the peak time. For the first time in ages, I couldn't do that. So I had an appointment at the hospital, you know, it's like on the eclipse time, got some news that was just like totally threw me for six. Not really willing to talk about that right now because I'm still processing it, but it was just like, oh my God, like when I saw the appointment time, I'm like, on the actual eclipse time, like for real. Oh my God, it was insane. And then the next day we held the ceremony. Then the next day I had the trust intuition training. Like, yeah, it's very, very much, you know, that it's, I don't know, it's just been full. It's been a full week. Yeah. And sometimes it's full and sometimes we just do what we can do. And then we take that time when we can. Yeah. Mel said, I watched one of your videos on releasing past lovers, sexual partners. Would this be a good time to do that ritual? Yes. Get me in that shower, Nicola says. Exactly right. So in the shower too, so I'll answer your question in a minute, Mel. So if you guys are needing to let go of a relationship, a sexual partner, or anything from your past, family lineage even, I'll just speak to what Mel had said there about the releasing past lovers ritual. If you haven't done that of mine, I'll speak about that in a moment. So a shower cleanse, shower trick. Obviously we're going to be like cleansing ourselves in the shower anyway, you know, physically soaping, washing, whatever you do, right? You can also, you guys might know this, but, you know, imagine the water, you know, washing over you as like white light. So like, it's like a waterfall of white light. And so as the water washes over you, it's actually white light and it's cleansing your aura, it's cleansing your skin, it's cleansing your pores. You can even imagine it going through your body, through your blood, through your bones, like fully cleansing from the top down and like, you know, washing through going down the drain. You can see, imagine and train yourself. It's good psychic development practice to see, feel, know, here, the darkness or whatever's going down the drain, as it's like washing down the drain or washing off you. What exactly are you washing off you? What can you see going down the drain? Cleansing your energy. You can clear your chakras. Imagine it going through your crown, third eye, ears, throat, heart, sacral, solar plexus, sacral base, etc., going down and washing everything away. You should be doing that anyway, but you know, doing that as a ritual can be very, very powerful. So, you know, we're always going to feel better from the water flow regardless, because of, I always get them mixed up, is it positive or negative ions? I think it's the negative ions. You know, if we do stand next to the beach or a lake or a river or a waterfall, like we're going to get those, I think it's negative ions. You know, that wash and cleanse our body. So the running water always makes a difference. I even shared that yesterday as well about the water running through the bottom from your elbows down. So, you know, like down, it's like the cleansing channels through there. So even if you're in the beach or a river and there's, you know, like when I'm in the ocean and there's like a strong current, I just sort of like turn my body to where the current's going and just let my arms sort of flay around, but the water is washing over this way and it's like washing it all away. So very powerful to do that as well. But simply just imagining it as white light, you know, it's very powerful. And the shower water, you can also imagine it like a rainbow, or if you want to use color therapy, there's even lights you can get for your shower these days, right? You can always just imagine different colors of water going over your body as well. So has anybody done that, or do you guys do that, or you're like, of course I do that, Hannah? Like, yeah, I'm curious if you guys know that, but it's very powerful to do, and it's kind of no excuse because I'm pretty sure we shower pretty regularly. Okay, if not daily or twice daily. All right, so Mel said, I watched one of your videos on releasing past lovers, sexual partners. Would this be a good time to do that ritual? Yes, so definitely. So the clearing every sexual partner ritual is like a physical ritual that we do in the shower, in a bath, in the ocean, in a river, in a lake, wherever, you know, there's water. You don't have to do it in water if you know, don't feel comfortable, or you just, you know, you can't get to water or whatever like that. You can still do it without. I won't explain the ritual because there's a video of it, and it's important to watch the whole video. I think it's only about 20-25 minutes, so it's long, but it's not long, of me explaining the ritual and why we're doing it. So it's like clearing every sexual partner from you. And so basically it clears out from your womb, like when we're sexually intimate with somebody, our chakras, our energy is connected. And if we haven't cleared or cut that, you know, there will be remains of, like, you know, their energy in us, you know, whether you're male or female, because even if males don't have a womb, they do have a sacral chakra, and that is actually our womb. So if you would like to do that ritual, just comment ritual below and we'll get you into my Reality Awareness Facebook support group where the video is. If you're already in my Reality Awareness Facebook support group, if you go under, is it like the guides or featured section? They're always changing the name of it. So it's like either guides or featured section in the group. And if you scroll down through that section, there's lots of videos in there. So when you do the ritual, then there's a meditation to do after it as well. You don't have to do it at the same time. You could do it like a week apart, or, you know, that sort of thing as well. So yeah, so if you feel called to do that, it can be very deep. I've had women with like a really heavy menstrual bleed afterwards. It is really deep and does clear out a lot. So just be aware of that, but I do talk about that in the video as well. And also, you know, like for men as well, you might get like past lovers contacting you after years of no contact, you know, because it's a pretty deep ritual that you actually do feel, you know, energetically people feel it. So yeah, it's deep. Tracy says, I do it but never looked at it like the white light, but we'll do it from now on. Yeah, it's very powerful to add those little pieces in, yeah? So yeah, and when you say like, would this be a good time to do that ritual, Mel says, and I'm like, yeah, any time is a good time to do a ritual. It was like my client, she asked, yesterday, she's like, you know, oh, I forgot to put my crystals out under the moon, like, can I still do it now, you know? And I was like, yeah, you can do it anytime. In a sense of like, sure, there's power in like timelines and specific times of doing a certain thing on this moon or that moon. And I'm like, at the same time, anytime is a good time to start. Anytime is a good time to put your crystals out for cleansing. Anytime is a good time to cleanse your crystals. Anytime is a good time to do freaking anything, because the most powerful timeline is when you're ready. The most powerful timeline is before you're ready. The most powerful timeline is when you're getting the intuition that now's the time. That's the most important time. So always trust it, right? All right, I'm gonna pull a card for the collective for you guys on this call now, and then we'll see if any other messages come from that. Okay, so vegetarian, I know it's back to front, okay. Vegetarian, a new way of eating gives you energy, greater health, more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestation ability. So you might, this card doesn't necessarily mean you have to go veggie. It means, there's a lot of green on there. So I'm getting the message about a lot of heart stuff. So maybe you've had like physical heart palpitations, maybe there's like a tightness in the chest, maybe there's coughing. Like specifically for this message, if you're watching this video now, I feel like there is a connection between something that you're eating and ingesting that is affecting your heart. Now, underneath, there can be grief going on under there. Well, there usually is, right? Especially if there's heart palpitations or heart anything, right? Your heart chakra is closed to an extent, and there's grief underlying that closed heart that needs to be dealt with. So a food change is going to support your physical body and then the healing of that emotional grief that's coming up, right? Okay, so next card. Because it's time to heal that. So I just pulling cards out from, wherever in the deck. I was shuffling them just before. So healing energy surrounds you and this situation. So time to heal that heart of yours, right? And look at the big, it's almost like the light in the tunnel there. So it's like a big cloud tunnel or something. It's like, look at the light in the tunnel. And if you'd only like stand up, the light is right there to like heal in your heart, right? Okay, so daughter. So this is the obvious message of daughter. If you have a daughter in your life, something is connected to your daughter about the diet and your heart, that this situation is healing. So if there's discord between you and your daughter, it's healing. This also can represent inner child. This also can represent someone who is like a daughter to you. This can also represent mother healing. I know that it doesn't make sense because it's a daughter card, but because a daughter would have a mother, this can also represent mother and mother healing. So the heart issues can also be representative of the mother and mother stuff and or female in general, right? And I'm getting that strongly with that. So feminine, there is a lot of like dark feminine clearing going on the planet right now, especially over this eclipse, especially connected to Egypt and those past lifetimes. But the situation is healing, yeah? But that's sort of the basis of that. And then if we look at the bottom card of the deck, this is enabling you to be yourself. This situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. Now, just underneath our heart chakra is our solar plexus, where your personal power lives. So by working through the grief and perhaps also changing diet, definitely when this card comes up, not just heart healing emotionally, but also dietary changes in whichever way, shape or form. This is not talking about an extreme detox when you're going, through a relationship breakup. This can also mean like slight diet changes, drinking more water, for example, right? Because sometimes an emotional detox is enough at this point in time, but is connected to the situation to do with a female, with your daughter, with a mother, with an auntie, with someone who's a female in your life, sister, anything like that, and definitely the feminine. Because, covered in goosebumps, truth bumps. So the basis of that healing, if you think about your heart and it's being closed, or palpitations or coughing or just crying, grief, all of that, what is happening is if we think about the heart is more feminine based chakra. It's a more intuitive based chakra. It's allowing you to open to the divine feminine rather being, I want to say, use the words entangled in the dark feminine web and grid. I do have my releasing from the dark mother grid energy meditation. So that's on my website. I'll pop the link in as well, just so you guys have got it there if you feel called to using that at all. It is one of the meditations and activations, the journeys out of the Transcendence 6-week course that we do. So, but I got the guidance a while ago to release the removal from the Dark Mother Grid by itself, so people can purchase that, because it's like 50-minute guided journey. Like, it's a long meditation, it's a long journey for good reason, because it's releasing from the Dark Mother Grid. Let's see if I can pull it up here. But it is a long one, and like I said, just because it is like a journey to unplug, remove from the Dark Mother Grid, it's really, really big. So I'll just pop that in there so you guys can check that out if it feels called to you. Because when you're releasing and untangling yourself, you can be this. When you're healing the pain in your closed heart, what does an open heart not just give you? More breath even, right? More breathful life, receiving love again, but it enables you to be this. Because let's be honest, a closed heart is not your true self, is it? Nope. Nicola says, yes, being myself more than ever right now. This is what a lot of us are doing, because we're waking up to that. We're waking up to the truth, and the truth is ourself. Yeah, so big time that. So yep, Sam says my chest is being tight, coughing, and my heart is not right. Yep, so some sort of grief wanting to come out, some sort of shift can be perpetuated by food stuff, but not always. The true cause deep out down underneath definitely plays a part, but not the true cause, if you may. So yeah, it's important to look at both. Yeah. So Mel says, I think I need to do it because I can't stop thinking about it. Please trust the intuition on that. That's doing the releasing from the, I don't even know what I called it. Releasing from the sexual, no, I'm getting them confused now. Let me check what it's called. That's so bad. So that's pretty funny actually. I don't even remember it, but I know what it is. I always get the names mixed up. That's the thing. All right, so actually it's under guides in the Reality Awareness Support Group. It is womb healing, clearing every sexual partner you've ever been with. That's what it's called. So like I said, if you're not in the Reality Awareness Facebook support group, just comment support below and we'll get you in the group and we can tag you in that video there. So Nicola says, since coming home from my girly holiday in Turkey, that would have been amazing. Things have been so intense. Yes, this was mid-April. Falling out with my sister on the holiday was the worst thing. Okay, maybe it wasn't so good. I think Turkey was my like, oh, I've always wanted to travel there. That's really full on. But sort of doesn't surprise me because these eclipse energies are deep in the Dark Mother that we've been talking about. So the dark feminine, if you may. And then what have we got there? So you said, since flying home, my mum has sided with my sister. Ugh, intense. Talk about intense, right? I'm 50 years old and never fell out with my sister ever. We were usually so close. Oh my goodness. So yeah, definite past life stuff. Nicola, I don't think you're in my inner circle or anything, are you? Your name's familiar, but I don't think that you're in Transcendence Reality Society. I was going to say something that I would get you to work on is getting generational lift for you, which actually you can purchase separately anyway on my website. So the generational lift, and what was the other thing just coming to mind? Oh, the removal from the Dark Mother Grid might just sort of take out the about it, you know, like out of the space. And really interesting, like I just want to ask you a question, like have you ever been to Turkey before? Would be a question that I'd ask. What was it called? Generational lift. I'm pretty sure that one I do have that one separate as well. I'll just put it in the link if you guys can have a look there. All right, so I've just popped that in too. Anna says, I feel you and I have seen previous lives. In one of them, you're my sister. I've always wondered where my lost sister is. Now I found you. Feels good. And like, you as much now as then, even if you're on the other side of the world. Love it. I've been meaning to do a live stream on like soulmates, twin flames, etc. So many people, you know, even men and whatever, they're like, you're my soulmate, you're my twin flame. And I'm like, there's a deep resonance with us. We're literally soulmates. Like, do you know what I mean? We're a soul family. And, you know, I think when we're, you know, trying to find ourselves through this stuff, that it can be very powerful when we finally find our other half, in a sense of like soul family, like, and there's this resonance, and maybe we have been soul sisters in a past life, like, you know what I mean? There's always definite resonance with that, but it's like the soul family. So yeah, that's the soul tribe. Yeah. Okay, so Mel says, I have COVID this week, feeling better today, and my daughter just tested positive. Not sure if this is related. Possibly, because for me personally, I know people get a lot of different symptoms about COVID, but for me personally, COVID is grief. It's hit people in the chest. It's technically targeted at the chest, whatever you want to call it, because of the grief that has been stored in humanity. And it's an opportunity to release it. I feel personally the people who get hit the hardest with it are the ones who haven't grieved from shit in their life. Just a personal observation, maybe just a little, maybe that's a little bit of a, what's the word? Bias opinion, if you may, but understanding grief and the whole energetics of the deepest parts of it all. That's my personal thing about it. And then I just feel like if you look at it, you're being called to do the clearing every, what did I call it? Let me get the words right. Clearing every sexual partner you've ever been with ritual. And you've got COVID. It's like, well, this grief relational to your past lovers, like, it's like a no-brainer to me, right? So yeah. Okay, Nicola hasn't been to Turkey. Okay, cool. I had a feeling that you hadn't, but had to check. Because going to a land can bring up all the stuff that happened in that land. So yeah, I would do removal from the dark mother grid. You could even do a past life meditation, but I feel like removal from the dark mother grid would be powerful. But yeah, definitely, especially, you know, eclipse energy that you went there and experiencing all this now, whatever you guys experienced in past lives or parallel lifetimes there before is just like sort of re-triggered. So yeah, I'd be doing past life meditation. Could do the generational lift. That's why I did put it in as well, because there's very generational stuff there. And then there's also the past life meditation, which I didn't put on, but they're all on my website. So if you ever need to find any meditations, guys, there's also free ones as well. If you go to my website, realityawareness.com, and under, I'm just going to put the past life meditation in. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Hang on a sec. See what happens when I'm trying to talk at the same time. All right, I'll just delete that because that's the wrong one. We don't want to get you guys confused. So the past life meditation, this one. Yep, this one. So this is the past life meditation. Okay, so on my website, go to realityawareness.com. If you scroll down, you'll find audio meditations. And if you go to the audio meditations page, there's a whole pile of free ones and a whole pile of paid ones. So any meditation that I released and you're like, oh, where was that one? Like if you go to that page, they're all listed there. And I'll pop the link in now because there might be some free ones that you guys haven't listened to or that you don't have. So I'm just going to pop that in as well for you as well. So you've got them there. So they should be coming up there. I'll just double check. Yeah. Make sure these are coming up for you. Yeah, perfect, they've come up. So the past life meditation's there, but yeah, some deep work surfacing for you there by the sounds of it. So, heal heart time, grieve time, let your heart be open time, shift time. Yes, okay, perfect, thanks for letting me know, they're there. And So Life Purpose Accelerator is where you get access to everything with me. Life Purpose Accelerator is the 12-month one-on-one mentorship working deeply with me personally, and you get access to all the courses and all the things. It's like your VIP access to reality awareness, to everything that I release. That even includes Trust Your Intuition, the certified course, and the advanced certification that's coming for that as well. You get access to that too. So it's 12 months one-on-one with me. You get unlimited access via Telegram. We do phone calls, distance healings, all the things that you need. It's very intuitive. You know, I used to, you know, have a specific amount and that sort of thing that we do, like this many calls and whatever. And I was just like, oh, like I'd rather, over the years, I prefer tuning in, which is what I do now with my clients. It's like we have that initial call and we tune in what is required. And obviously we're, you know, over 12 months, we don't plan out the 12 months because it's always intuitive. But it's like whatever you need, it's like we do that, and it's more the intuitive flow because, you know, tomorrow is never set in stone and we're shifting and changing. It is about structure, but it's also about having that flexibility and being able to work at the deepest level. With the Life Purpose Accelerator, we get that entire piece there. So I just gotta put that in as well. It is in the title of this live stream as well. So if you've got any questions about the Life Purpose Accelerator, you can send me a message or ask away. I'm gonna pop the link in as well so you can have a look there. If you've got any questions about it, it is open now. Doors will be closing soon for the Life Purpose Accelerator. So let me know if you've got any questions, but it is the deepest and most powerful aspect that you can work with me on for 12 months. You know, I think working with somebody over a longer period of time, you get to go deeper, you shift faster because you're in their space as well, but also the level of work that we can cover in your whole life via your life purpose gets to be shifted and elevated rather than just a once-off session. It's like you're popping in and out. It's just like you're in it the entire time, which deeply expands from that space. So send me a message or you can click on the link and check it out. Like I said, doors will be closing soon, and have a beautiful afternoon, evening, or morning wherever you are watching this, and I shall see you guys really soon.